Suzuki's V-Strom line is pretty legendary, but this new 250SX, it's a total curveball. Yeah, it shares the name, but trust me, it is a completely different animal from its sibling. So today, we're going to dig in and figure out what this bike is really all about. So this is the big question, isn't it? The V-Strom 250SX claims it can do it all. Your city commute, a bit of touring, even exploring dirt roads. But in a world full of specialized bikes, is it a brilliant all-rounder or is it just a master of none? Let's find out. To really get the SX, you gotta first look at what it isn't. The standard V-Strom 250, that's your smooth, comfy, but let's be honest, kind of heavy parallel twin tour. The SX, though, it just throws that playbook out the window. It drops a whole cylinder and sheds a massive 27 kilograms. I mean, that is a huge difference, and it totally redefines the entire personality of the bike. And that massive weight saving, that complete shift in character, it all really comes down to one core component, the engine. It's the beating heart of what makes the SX so different. So instead of a complex, heavy liquid cooling system with radiators and hoses and all that, Suzuki uses this really clever setup called the Suzuki Oil Cooling System, or SOX. They actually borrowed it from their sporty Gixxer 250, and the whole point is to be incredibly compact and light. It just uses the engine's own oil to keep things cool. A simple, elegant solution that's absolutely key to the bike's agile feel. And here is where that efficiency really pays off. We're talking real-world numbers here. Owners are consistently getting over 40 kilometers per liter. Some are even seeing 45 or 46. I mean, with gas prices being what they are, that kind of mileage is just phenomenal. It makes it a fantastic commuter and an incredibly affordable companion for those long-distance trips. This quote from an owner over on WebBike just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures this engine's personality. See, it's not just efficient, it's eager. It has this energetic, fun-loving character that just makes you want to take the long way home or just keep on riding toward the horizon. Okay, but let's be realistic for a second. It's a 250cc single cylinder, and while it can absolutely handle highway speeds, owners say it'll cruise at 100 kilometers per hour, no problem. It's not exactly its happy place. You're going to feel more vibrations. And that stellar fuel economy, well, that can take a pretty big hit when you're pushing it that hard for a long time. So yeah, it can do it, but there's a trade-off. All right, so the engine is capable, we get that. But an adventure bike is defined by where it can go, right? So let's get to the crucial test, its performance on the pavement versus the dirt. On the road, that 19-inch front wheel gives the bike this wonderfully stable, planted feel. It's not nervous or twitchy at all. But then, you take it off the pavement, and it's surprisingly at home on gravel roads and light trails. Now, the key point here is that it's not trying to be some hardcore enduro bike. No way. It's built for the kind of unpaved roads you actually find when you're out on an adventure. And this quote from a professional test rider, it just sums it up perfectly. Think of it as a soft roader. It gives you the confidence to explore that gravel path or that Forest Service road you've always been curious about, without all the compromises you'd have on the highway if you were on a dedicated dirt bike. Professional opinions are one thing, but the real story of a bike is told by the people who live with it every single day. So what do the actual owners have to say? Well, after sifting through hundreds of owner reviews on WhyBike, the picture is overwhelmingly positive. I mean, look at this. Fuel economy is a near-perfect score, which is no surprise. But what's really telling are the incredibly high marks for looks, riding, and handling. This shows you it isn't just a practical bike. Owners genuinely love how it looks and how it feels to ride. And when you really dig into the comments, these themes just pop up again and again. The word lightweight is everywhere. That's what makes the bike so fun and so unintimidating. Owners are just raving about its versatility, using it for everything from daily errands to multi-day trips. They love the sharp adventure styling and feel it offers just incredible bang for the buck. Of course, no bike is perfect, so let's talk about the quirks. Now, these aren't really deal breakers, just things to be aware of. That 835mm seat height can be a challenge for shorter riders. A lot of owners report the gearbox is stiff when it's new, but that it does break in over time. There have been some reports of a front brake judder, which seems to be a warranty issue, and some find the plastic parts, like the knuckle guards, a little bit flimsy. Oh, and the LED headlight is bright, but some feel its beam is just a bit too narrow for really dark roads. All right, so we've looked at the engine, the handling, and the real-world owner experience. It's time to put it all together and answer our original question. To truly understand the V-Strom 250SX, you really need to see where it fits. If your top priority is maximum comfort on the highway, the standard V-Strom 250 is probably your bike. If you plan on tackling serious off-road trails, the CRF 250 Rally is the better tool for that job. The SX, well, it carves its own niche right in the middle as the agile, lightweight, do-it-all machine. So ultimately, the ideal rider for the V-Strom 250SX is someone who values versatility above all else. They're looking for that one bike for the daily commute, the weekend getaway, and the confidence to say yes when the pavement ends. And this brings us right back to where we started. The SX isn't the fastest tourer, and it's not the most capable off-roader. It's a master of the middle ground. And you have to think, in a world where we need one tool for many different jobs, maybe that carefully balanced compromise isn't a weakness at all. Maybe it's the bike's single greatest strength. So the final question is, what do you value most in a ride?